I like one of each color. It's like a nice middle of the road spring tension. If you want something lighter, if you have any knee or hip issues, go 2 reds and a blue. If you want something heavier, you can go 2 reds and a green. We're picking 3. We're sticking with that for today. All right, then you can go ahead and lay down. My name is Karen. Good morning. Hello. Are you in my class? Yeah, no, hardly. Okay. Yeah, but you know about the wedge and
I've
yes.
been practicing Pilates for 3 years.
Good, awesome. Okay. Oh, congratulations.
I'll adjust
Excellent.
as needed.
Beautiful.
I'm taking private tutors.
Oh, fabulous.
Other modifications.
Yes.
So.
Great, okay, so
I
if you need help from me, just wait. Okay, I'm happy to give those. All right, you're welcome. So we're just laying down. We're gonna start with our deep Pilates breath here. So have your feet resting on the foot bar. Nice big inhale, feeling those ribs expand, big exhale. We're gonna do flow 1.0 today. I'm Karen. Please let me know if you need help with modifications.
Can you dim the lights?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, keep that deep Pilates breath going, and you're gonna add some pelvic rocks to that. So tucking that pelvis. Let's see.
That's perfect.
Is that good? Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I know, I like the lights because it makes me feel like it's sunny. You gotta have the sun in here. So just imagine you're laying on the beach here. So we're rocking and rolling that pelvis, imprinting that spine, feeling that low belly pull in, and then arch your spine the other way as you roll your pelvis. Now find your neutral pelvis. So your tailbone is down, natural curve in your low back. Our heels are on parallel. Push the carriage out on an inhale. Exhale, resist those springs as you return back home. So we're making our cake here. We're building our level. So you're keeping that deep breathing going. You're keeping that pelvis in neutral as you go out and in. Good, nice, Audra. Want to get that full leg extension without locking your knees, but how straight can you get? Let's do one more. Come all the way back in. We go into Pilates V, heels together, toes apart. Heels stay on the foot bar. We push that carriage out. Now it's the sensation that your muscles, your legs are wrapping around as you squeeze those legs together. And then peel those legs apart as you come back in. Now check where, when your carriage is in, where are those knees? So you do want them going wider than your shoulders is your goal. So they're not just flopping out to the side. We're controlling where they go. Think about dragging that carriage through the mud as you return back home. All the way in. Let's go back to parallel, but our legs are together. Balls of the feet on the foot bar. Squeeze those feet together, squeeze those legs together. We push the carriage out and then come back in. So parallel legs together. Hang on. Yeah, there you go. Then bring them all the way together. Touching. There you go, yes. So really trying to find that connection to your midline here. So you're squeezing everything together. Come down a little bit lower so balls of your feet. Let's go all the way out, stay out. Can you find a little extra length in your spine? Think about that head really reaching towards the mirror. Come in halfway. And let's do little tiny pulses here with the carriage. So pelvis is still, keeping that deep breathing, pulsing it out, just moving 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Last 2, go all the way out, Come all the way back in. Okay, let's just separate those legs so now we're like a fist distance apart. Toes come on. So maybe you slide down another ½ inch. We'll do our tendon stretch, but you want a little space between, good. Legs go all the way out, or carriage goes all the way out, legs are straight. Then we're gonna flex and point here. So feeling that stretch in the back of your legs, then lifting those heels nice and high. So lifting and lowering in your heels. So yes, good. Yes, and you can go down lower, nice. And then lift those heels up. Nice strong ankles. Let's go into a little walking where you have one knee bent, other heel pushes under, and then we switch. Really wake up those feet. How much can you work through the bottom of the feet? How much can you spread those toes? Get them alive. Last two. Then both heels up nice and high. Pull that carriage all the way in. All right, we're gonna roll to your side. Sit up on your carriage, facing your mat. Okay, we're gonna do our bridging with.
Oh, my back is hurting.
Okay, all right, take it easy. That was a painful face. Could you write your name on the board for me, please? We're gonna take your box and put a short box in front of your springboard. We're gonna do our bridging, this should work for you, with your head and shoulders on the box. So we have the short box down, thanks Megan. Then you're sitting on the mat facing your chair. You want the tips of your shoulder blades touching the edge of the box. Then you're going to lift your hips up into a bridge, and now your head, neck, and shoulders are on the box. So we start with our knees bent. Yeah. And scooch back a little bit more, Tanisha, because you want those shoulders supported on the box. Yeah. We're going to make your front like a table. Yeah. And so then scooch back even a little bit more. Good. And then lift those hips up. Yeah. There you go. And then now your head, neck, and shoulders should be resting on the box. Beautiful. So are you thinking, what about my arms? Where do they go? So they can go goalpost on the box with your forearms or your upper arms resting on the box, fingertips reaching towards the ceiling. You can have those arms reaching straight up towards the ceiling if that feels better to you. But you're in this table position. Yeah, yes. All right. You're in this tabletop position so I can rest a cup of coffee right on your belly and everything's nice and flat. Opening the hips, feeling the work in the back of the legs. All right, let's lower your hips down and then you sit up off the box. Okay, we're gonna do that again. So we lower our head, neck, and shoulders. Rise your hips up into that bridge. Now think about those thighs like railroad tracks. So you want your knees right in front of your hips, reaching towards the chair. We're really trying to open the front of the hips. Now we're going to do a weight shift. So put all your weight on your right foot. That left foot is like a feather. Come back to the center and then switch other side. All the weight on the left foot. Come back to the center. Okay, we're going to add on weight on the right foot. Extend your left leg long, reaching towards the chair. Lower that left leg, even at your weight. Put your weight on the left foot. Extend that leg long, keep those hips high. Single leg bridge. Lower that foot, even weight on the feet. Hinge your hips back down. All right, nice job. Let's come out of this, so we're going to stand up. So make your way to standing. We're going to adjust our box where, let's actually, no, we're gonna do our planks here. So now we're gonna be on our knees. We've got an extra stand in there. And we're gonna face our box for our knee hover. So forearms on the box. In that quadruped, forearms are down, knees right underneath your hips. Let's tuck those toes, pull that belly in so deeply that you cover those knees up. So they're still bent just an inch off the ground. Yep, so keep them still bent then. Here, yep, and then have your knees right under your hips so they come in closer. Good, yes. Gently rest those knees back down. Okay, we do that again. Ooh, wow, I heard it, yes, you should feel that, nice job. Let's do that again. We hover those knees up. So John, can you keep the knees bent for the knee hover? And keep them right here. Now hover them up 2 inches higher and then come back to a hover. So we're just lifting and lowering those knees. Taking a break when you need to, but you're thinking nice long spine, that belly button is really pulled in, protecting your low back. Shoulder blades nice and wide, nice and breathe. Let's do 2 more, and then rest those knees down, sit back for a child's pose stretch. Okay, you have the option to stay with that knee hover, or we're gonna go to a straight leg plank. Forearms are still down on the box, legs are long, or hovering. I think the hover is a little more challenging, good to prep you for 1.5 where we do that knee hover on the carriage. All right, so you're holding here in your plank, reaching that spine nice and long, keeping those hips up. You can always bring those knees down onto the mat if you need to modify. We're gonna hold here for 5 more deep breaths. Getting stronger with every breath. Last deep breath. Rest those knees down. Sit back for a quick child's pose stretch. We're gonna roll up to standing. Now we're gonna adjust our box. Every time we move our equipment, it's like you're a ninja. So I don't hear any equipment moving because you're using your core to do a deep bend. Pick the box up, it goes long box, center of your mat. Then we will have our yellow springs on 8. And then you're going to sit on your box. Okay, grab onto those handles. So we're doing our abdominals here, but keeping our spine straight. So our arms need to be straight, palms facing each other. And a little tension on the springs. So if you have 0 tension, you need to scoot your bottom back or scoot your box back. Our spine is nice and straight. We hinge back. Keep those arms straight. Yep, arms stay straight. All right. So we're finding our hinge here. And just go back to think like 45 degrees. And you're trying to find the connection into your core. And then use your abs to hinge back up to a sitting tall position. We hinge back. And then come back up. Now, if you cannot feel your abdominals, you may have too much spring tension. So actually having less makes it harder. So if you scooch forward, we make it a little bit harder. But don't think about ever pulling with your arms. It's like you just get a little help with the springs, but I really want you to find the work in your core. All right, then going back to about that 45-degree position, you're gonna hold it there. All right, think about dropping those shoulders down. Nice, oh, everybody did that, beautiful correction. Okay, we're gonna do little tiny pulses. So we just come up an inch and down an inch. Good, and keep those arms still. So come up a little bit higher, Tanisha. Yeah, so you're not resting. Yeah, and stay in that hinge. Good, yes. Lift and low, yeah. Just keep those arms straight. Think about your arms doing nothing. Now, if you did not have these springs on, it would be a lot of work in your core, right? So again, the less tension you have, the more you should feel it. Are we all feeling this in our abs? Yes, okay. Let's do one more. and then come all the way back up. Okay, nice job. Now, if you're feeling it in your low back, that's a no-no, so then we wanna not go back as far. We're gonna do our obliques. So we start sitting tall. We bend towards the right. So you feel a bend in your right waist, and then we hinge back on your right side. All right, and then we come back up. Yep, keep those springs there. We come back up and back to the center. Let's just stay on the right for a few. So we bend and hinge back on the right. Keep both arms straight. Yep, so we're just doing the same move, we're just twisted towards the right a little bit more. Feeling how the right side of your body has to turn on now more, because we're working those obliques. Keep both sits bones nice and square on the box. Okay, let's come all the way up. Let's do the other side. So we bend, hinge towards the left. Really, it's more of a bend than a hinge. And then we hinge back. Bend and hinge. And then we come up and unbend. So think about both arms staying even. Feeling that work in the left side. Holler if you need help. Let's go for 2 more here. And then we're going to put it together for a little around the world. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to put it all together. So we start tall. We bend towards the right. We hinge all the way back. Roll to the center when we're back. We bend towards the left. Roll up on your left side. Bend towards the right, roll back. So now you're putting it together so it's a more fluid motion. Going back on one side and then rolling up on the other. So when you're back, come to the center. So come back, Amory, come to the center. Yes, and then roll up on the other side. Twist as you roll up. Okay, let's twist and go the other direction. Yep, and then come up here. So we twisted, now we got untwist. Ooh, getting all that nice movement in your spine. Finish up this last one. And then we're gonna sit nice and tall. Okay, we're gonna go into a little upper body. Palms face down to the floor, arm press, straight arms push down. Hands go like right past your knees, and then resist as you come up. As you push down, reach your fingers nice and long, like they're trying to touch the springboard, and your wrist is nice and flat. So I want you to feel this in the underside of your arm, feeling the connection into your back. If you're not feeling it, you need to move back on your box, or move your box back so you have more tension. Nice. Exhale as you push down. Nice hot drop. All right, next time we're down, we pause there. Think about pushing a ½ inch further down. Your spine reaches up the opposite direction. Little tiny pulses. Keep those shoulders down your back. Core nice and engaged. Last one, and then resist those springs as you come all the way up. We go into high row, elbows wide, squeezing those shoulder blades together and then extending your arms straight. Palms still facing the floor. Yes, feel free to move back. You can get into a straddle if you really got to scooch back wide on the box. But finding where that tension and that work is for you. So working the upper back here. As we pull those shoulder blades back, squeeze them together. Think about your ribs staying knitted together in your front. So We don't wanna pop those ribs, keep them nice and closed. Last one like this, and then we go into a low row where our palms face each other, elbows come low. So now a little more mid-back. Okay, let's do some single arm work here. So our arms go straight. Our right arm low rows back. Now be careful if you have any spine disc issues, okay? You would just want to stay with our previous move. If your spine is healthy, we're gonna lengthen our spine up, twist and look over that right shoulder. So feel that rotation in your ribs, come back to the center and let's switch to the other side. Left arm low rows. We lift our spine and rotate, come back to the center and extend. So keep going side to side there. Let's do one more each side. This is the check for traffic move. Okay, come back to the center. Let's go into bicep curls. So our palms face the ceiling, bicep curl. Oh, I love that sound. You're working it, working those handles. Now you want to have a grip, but you have a death grip. So we don't want a death grip. We want to feel the work in our biceps. Oh, that's the funniest sound, isn't it? The music of Pilates. The handle's working. Okay, now find your bicep curl and hold it there. Okay, so where you feel that tension, you're in that 90-degree bend. We're gonna do a little elbow saw. Elbows come up an inch and down an inch. Just lift and lower. Last one, and then just relax for a moment. Okay. Now we're going to do the bicep, and you can lean forward, just relaxing through your back if you'd like. We're gonna do one more move with that bicep curl where we hold the bicep curl and then we hinge back. So we keep the same position of our arms the whole time. Keep that 90-degree bend, you hinge back. Think about hinging back from your sits bones, not your low back. All right, so you really wanna keep that core sucked in. So your back is like a plank as it goes back. Nice, beautiful form. And then come back up to sitting tall. So do a few more forward and back. Last one. And come up. Woo, nice. Okay, you can release those springs. Stand up using your legs, really push into those heels. Okay, our box, we are going to, let's move our long box to the carriage just so it's out of the way. And then we're gonna move our springs to one over shoulder height. And we'll do our triceps facing center. Yeah. Okay, then we're gonna face the center of the room, grab onto both handles. You wanna start close to the springboard. We're gonna lunge forward with our right leg, zombie arms in front of you. So get tension on the springs. And have your right leg forward. Yeah, there you go, Tanisha. Okay. Now, in this position, you want your legs, your feet like railroad tracks. So check that they're nice and parallel. All those toes should be facing towards the center of the room. We're gonna bend our elbows, triceps, and then extend our arms out. So this can feel like a lot of tension. If it feels too much, you just scooch back towards the springboard. Good. And think about those elbows right in front of your shoulders. And think about those those fingers long again. So we're reaching, nice flat wrist. And have those elbows right in front. Yes, yes. It's like you're almost holding a yoga block with those elbows, not going out to the side. Feeling this back of the arm, triceps. All right, next time, hold those arms long. We switch our legs, so that right leg steps back and left leg comes forward into that lunge position. Now we go into chest press, so our elbows go wide, and then we push forward, extending those arms straight. Exhale as you push those arms forward. Let's just see. If you need more tension here, these muscles are bigger than your triceps, you just shimmy forward. Okay, let's do 2 more. Then we're going to keep our arms long. Left leg comes back next to the right leg. Okay, we're in parallel stance here. Now you're going to keep those arms nice and straight. Check your wrist. So our knuckles are forward, nice and flat. You can have a cup of coffee resting on your wrist. It's not going to spill. You're going to do a slight lean here. So a little lean. So we're in a standing plank position. All right, now you're going to hold this lean, lift your arms up about 6 inches, and then lower back down. So you should feel lots of core work here, just like we do when our planks are on the ground. This is planking, just standing up with spring tension. So we're going to bring those knuckles forward. Yes, good. When we bend the wrist there, that starts to strain it. We don't want to do that. It gets the work out of the muscles where we want it. Nice job. All right, last one, zombie arms. Then we're going to float back to a standing position and stand tall. I call that the smooth criminal. Okay, now we're going to add on to that. So if that was enough, you're going to stay with that move. If you want to add more challenge, you're going to bring your legs together. Our arms are straight. We're going to find our slight lean and have your weight on your left foot. Your right leg comes long in front of you. The toe is touching onto the mat, but your weight is on your left foot. All right, holding your lean here, pull that right knee in towards your chest and then tap that toe down. So the more lean you have, the more of a balance challenge it is. You can keep that toe or you can do that knee lift and lower. Last one. Touch that right foot down. Let's switch legs. Bring that one back. Weight on your right leg. Left leg is reaching long. One side will be harder than the other. This is always my hard side, so I always do it second. Is this your harder side? And you could do, if the wrist bothering you, you can always flip around, do it on the bar too, without the spring tension. Yeah, okay. Let's do 2 more. And then come out of that. Nice job. Okay, let's reset our spring pool. Oh, you know what? Let's hold it for now. We're going to do one more rotation. So let's face the front. We may add the springs here as an extra sauce. We're going to go Pilates V with our feet. Let's do hug a tree with our arms. So we're just rotating in our spine here and our lower body stays still. So we lengthen our spine up, rotate towards the chair, and then come back center. Now, keep that rotation, but notice how your hands are right in line with your heart.
So the same direction?
And same direction, yep, keep going towards the chair. And they stay in line with your heart. Okay, if you want to add spring tension to this, you just grab that spring that's in front of you, and we do the same move. But our hips are still, the rotation is your ribs. And no pulling with your arms. So let your hips pull back the opposite direction, Amanda, when you rotate upper body. So now your left hip pulls back. Yes, yes, so it's like you're a pepper grinder, is what it makes me think of. Your hips have to go one way, your upper body goes the other. Let's do one more. Okay, and then let's relax, release that. Let's turn and face the back and do our rotation that way. So you can start without the spring tension or jump in with it if you're ready, but your hips stay still. We rotate again towards the chair. I find that it's easier to feel the connection into your ribs without that spring tension. So then when you want to add the tension, you grab onto that spring. Think about your hips going back the opposite way. So like if your hip bones were headlights, the headlights have to shine onto our field of flowers and not to the middle of the room. Do one more here. And then relax. Okay, now we can reset that springboard. And then we're going to come to our reformer, which has our long box on it. We're going to do a standing leg series. So if you don't want to do it at the box, you can always do it at the bar. But we're going to be standing close to our reformer. Our leg is close to the reformer. Have a hand on the box. The opposite leg is going to lift. And then we're lifting and lowering that leg that's away. Now, the more hinge that you add to your upper body, the more challenging it is. So think about hinging down. You can soften that elbow. And then the less pressure you have on this hand on the box, the more challenging it is. So if you can stand up with both hands on your hips, try that, where the box is there for balance. Feeling this work in your hip. We're in that side body position, so it's like you're between two panes of glass. All right, you're gonna lift that leg up as high as you can, and then we're gonna point that toe, draw little tiny circles with that toe. Are we feeling the burn? Okay, let's circle the other direction. Reach that leg longer, reach, reach, reach. Woo! Yeah, that standing leg should be feeling it too. Last one. And rest down. Nice, give it a shake. All right, let's turn and face your mirror and just do the other side. So we lift that leg away, lift and lower, adding that hinge to our upper body. Adding that light touch or maybe no touch on the box. Can you get that spine a little bit longer? Can you get that leg a little bit longer? All right, let's reach that leg up as high as you can, lift it as high as you can, point that toe, draw your circles. Feel how that's your leg circling in the hip socket. Nice, Carly. Circle the other direction. Yeah, keep that foot still. Reach, 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 reach those toes. Yeah, circle the leg. You got it, Tanisha. All right, last two. And then rest down. Oh, love it. Okay, let's do figure four. I'm so happy for you. So let's go to the bar. We'll stretch it out here. So light touch on the bar, cross your leg, just sit back for a nice hip stretch. Stand tall using your core and switch. Other side. Okay, you know what? We're here. do a little arabesque because we're working the sides of the legs. Let's work the back and the booty. So we're gonna have a light touch on the bar. Stand on your left leg, that right leg is long. And then we're gonna lift that right leg up. So you can have a bend in your elbows here, we're hinged forward. And then we're gonna lift and lower that right leg. Nice, now keep lifting and lowering that leg. Trying to find the work in your glute. So again, think about the headlights on your hip bones. Now they're shine forward and down, not to the side. So we want to stay parallel in our hips. Let's lift that leg as high as you can. Engage your core a little bit more. Draw circles to the back. And then circle the other direction. And then rest that leg down. Okay, let's do the other side. So we find our arabesque, we hinge forward, lengthen that leg out, and we lift and lower. Find your inner ballerina. You can keep those hands on the bar. You can bring them off out to a T position for more of a balanced challenge. Let's lift that leg nice and high. Draw those circles. Point that toe. Reach, reach, reach. It's like I'm coming to pull your leg towards the center of the room. Circling from the hip. Switch, circle the other direction. And then rest that leg down. Nice job. Okay, we're going to take our box, move the box along box center of the mat, like it was before. And then we're going to be quadruped on top of the box. And let's have your head facing the chair. Oh, okay, so just on all fours, on top of the box, head facing the chair. So Carly, you can do this on the mat if you feel any balance challenge on the box. Yeah, we're gonna do our bird dog here. So see how Miss Tanisha is just like this, Megan. All right, so we're on quadruped. Yes, we can always modify the bar too if we don't want to be on your knees, okay? Now, on the box, I want you to have your wrist right below your shoulders and your shoulder blades are nice and wide. What happened to your core? Is it dumped out or is it lifted and engaged? All right, keep it lifted. That was the right answer. Okay, now we're going to go into bird dog. So we extend our right leg towards the springboard, thinking hip height. Good, okay. That gaze is down towards the floor. We're in our neutral spine position here. Now you can hold this position or you can add that opposite arm out for more of a balanced challenge. You need to keep both hands down there on the box for balance, that's okay. Good, rest your knee and hand down, back into quadruped. Let's do the other side. So we have a strong core connection, we extend that opposite leg, extend that opposite arm, and then we just balance. Bird dog, like you see the, saying kill, I don't know why I'm having these visuals, but the animal's right there, go get it. Okay, come back down onto all fours and just relax for a moment. Okay, we're gonna add a little knee crunch to that. So we go back to our opposite side. We extend your leg long, extend your arm long. We're gonna pull knee to elbow underneath you. So pull that knee to elbow as you round through your spine, pulling that belly in, and then extend back out. Let's do 3 more. Exhale as you pull it in. Nice, Audra. Drop that head. Come back into your quadruped. And let's do the other side. So we extend that leg long, extend your arm long. If this is enough work, you just stay here. To add that knee crunch, you pull knee to elbow, and then you reach long and away. Pull it in and out. Last one. Rest down. Okay, let's go off towards the back of the box, so we're feet down on the mat, and then come into a down dog with your forearms down on the box. So I like my forearms, they're kind of at the back edge, and then your feet are back towards the springboard. Yeah, beautiful bend. If that doesn't work for you, you can go for some other stretch. You can have those arms long. All right, we're gonna slowly roll all the way back up. Okay, let's reset our box. So just bring it back home. We're gonna do our full body challenge here at the bar. So nestle that box in by your reformer to the side, and then you're gonna stand at the bar. We're standing bent arm distance away, light touch on the bar. Okay, so our elbows are right at our side. We're gonna do a right leg lunging back. So big step back with your right leg. Check that those feet are in parallel. Your left knee is bent. Okay, now you can keep your hands on the bar for balance if you need that, or bring your arms out to a T position. Okay, we're holding here. We're gonna lunge that right knee down towards the mat. You decide how low you go. And then extend that right leg as you stand back up. Okay, again, if you need a little bit more support, the bar is right there. Now, if we've got our arms out into that T position, let's add a little arm movement there. So as we rise up, bring your arms up to the ceiling, and as we lunge down, we come back to that T position. Nice, last two. And then we step all the way back in, returning to where we began. Okay, shake those legs out. Let's do the other side. Light touch on the bar, left leg, big step back. Get into that lunge position. So that right knee is bent. Check that you can see your right toes in front of that knee. You don't want the knee forward over the toes. All right, arms out to a T if we've got that. Nice long spine. Then we bring that left knee down towards the mat and extend that leg, adding that arm movement as we rise. Adding that breath. Body's nice and warm, using everything from your head to your heels. Let's do two more. And then come all the way back in. Okay, beautiful. Let's go do some feet and straps. A bit of a stretch here. We're going to be red, blue. One red, one blue. And then go ahead and lay down. Get that sneaky green off. Oh, you got it on there, Tanisha. Yep, so come in. Gotcha. There you go. All right, so we get our feet in straps. So that carriage goes out. Our legs are long. Bend one knee, put the long loop on the arch. Push into that strap. Long loop goes on the other arch. Okay, bring your legs out to 45. Now keep your legs hip distance apart. It's gonna make it a little bit more challenging. Arms push down. We're gonna lower your legs to about the foot bar. And then we're gonna lift towards where your 90 is. They're nice and straight. And you're finding that neutral pelvis position. So your tailbone, keep lifting and lowering. Your tailbone is anchored down the whole time. So lower those legs down, yes. And you should have that natural curve in your low back. So as you lift your legs, do not let your low back imprint into the carriage. Your abs have to really be engaged to keep that pelvis in neutral. All right, have those legs go long to 45. We found our neutral pelvis, keep it here. We're gonna bend our legs into tabletop. Don't let that pelvis roll. So your knees are right on top of your hips. Then push your legs out back to 45. So bend and extend. And think about pushing those legs towards the center of the room. So push towards the center there, Taylor. Yes, and then don't let your knees come past your hips when you come in and push there towards the center. Yeah, even lower. So imagine a big heavy box, push, 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 push. So instead of thinking about your feet going up, think about pushing towards the center, like you want to push it away from you. So this feels like a small leg movement. Are we feeling it in low belly? Yeah, okay, so if you're not, then think about resist those as you come back in, stop here with your knees, and then push, 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 push into the strap. And as you come in, resist, resist, resist. So put more resistance into that. Don't just let the straps come back in. All right, and then you're keeping that pelvis still, feeling that low belly. Think about your hip points pulling together. I like to imagine like before stretchy pants, laying down on the bed to suck it in and zip really tight pants. That's where I want you to feel the connection. No, okay, that's okay. You just gotta keep practicing it. Yeah, and think about all that sensation coming in there. Resist, resist. Let's do 2 more. So don't let me push in, don't let me push in. So you gotta push more into those straps. Push more in as you come back, so you're going both ways. All right, let's go into a butterfly stretch. Yeah, okay. So butterfly stretch, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. So that's okay, finding that connection there, that takes practice. Just think about all those things. And the more resistance, and maybe even next time you could try 2 reds, would be a little bit heavier pushback to get that. Yeah, just keep working on that. All right. Now let's go back to our 90-degree position with our legs. We're gonna do our hip circles. So our legs come down to 45, we open at the bottom, push through those straps, circle up and around. So now we're into the stretching portion. So if you want to go super wide and feel that stretch with the straps, you do that. Let's reverse and circle the other direction. Think about all that beautiful work you did for your hips, how strong they are for you. Let's bring your legs up towards 90. Go for a hamstring stretch. So you're going to flex your feet. Reach up and hold onto the tape, pull it down. So you feel a nice stretch in the back of your legs. Think about your hips pushing down as your heels push up to the ceiling. Let's keep your hands on the straps, open out into a straddle stretch. Bring those legs back together. Bend your knees, come out of the straps. Bring one foot to the foot bar. Other foot to the foot bar, come all the way in. We're going to roll to your side, sit up on your carriage. Add another red spring, so we're at our reset, 2 reds and a blue, and then join me on the mat for your final roll down. Stand up nice and tall and parallel, weight through our heels, feet nice and open and spread. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach wide. Nod your chin to your chest, rolling down into your forward fold. head, neck, and shoulders, just relaxing, shake out any tension in your neck. Slowly roll all the way back up, restacking your spine. Roll those shoulders back. All right, I brought you some wipes, so please wipe down. You're welcome. Everything that you touched, wipe off your mat. It can go on top of your Bosu. I'm Karen. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
If you did not, you're welcome. If you did not get checked in, make sure you see Brian so you get credit for being here. I'll be in Flemington tomorrow. I teach a great stretching class, so if you're unlimited, center and balance 1.5, I'd love to see you. I think it said 11. Or I will be here next Saturday or Tuesday morning. And you can wipe your names off on the board as well. Do I sound like just Charlie Brown now? We have so much to say in Pilates. All right, enjoy your weekend. Stay dry.